Did you guys have a nice weekend? It's only a few sleeps until Christmas now. Let's start with our angel readings. I've got my very old angel card deck with me today. As per usual, I am on a streaming platform, so remember to pop your name underneath, and off we go. Oh, great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my father, my mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, so I'm going to pull our card for today, and then off we go. Oh, I've got another question already. Okay, dear Sky, can you help me with my candida infection? I'm having difficulties getting rid of it, even though I'm under medical treatment. Thank you, Gabriella. Okay, let's choose a card. Got the card signed from above, right? And you can see that this person is literally being given a flower as a divine sign from the heavens. So whenever you see something like that, an angel card, particularly when you see like little finer details, you're like there are leaves inside this blurry bit of the card and petals, it's showing you the angels are saying you need to take herbs, right? So when it comes to clearing up candida from a metaphysical perspective, you're dealing with deep resentment, and normally deep resentment at the opposite sex or the opposite gender. And the way that it shows up when you do a body scan is like this white cloud type fog that's kicking in. And one of the biggest things that we teach in Medical Intuitive is that candida is often resentment at how you have been treated sexually, or how you have been neglected sexually. Okay. And there's often this idea that you just have to make do, that you don't really have any control, that you're what you want doesn't really matter. And this real anger at how like the humiliation that you felt in different intimate situations. When it comes to herbs, you're normally dealing with organic oregano, ginger, activated charcoal, molybdenum, which is a mineral which is often at the root of out of control candida infections. And you're also looking at your liver and your stomach being acidic enough, because candida, as a fungi, as a mushroom, its job is to break down food that you are not breaking down, right? So if you cannot break the food down, then your body takes the candida so that you can actually dissolve or digest the food if your gut biome isn't right, if it's not doing its job properly. Okay, so one of the things that I would, other than taking oregano, taking ginger, taking activate charcoal, molybdenum, I would also say it's very important to work on getting colonics and things like that as well, right? Particularly if you have an infection, one colonic can wipe it off the face of the planet. Where for me, I had candida for years and years and years, almost a decade, and then I went for my first colonic, and 4 weeks after, one colonic a week, and it didn't come back, right? Because often it's stuck in your stool, it's stuck in the walls of your colon, and it literally looks like long root type strings. So it needs to be literally pulled out. It's very clever as well. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, it crosses the gut wall. So especially if you've had it for a long time, it's rare that one round will knock it. It might silence it or suppress the symptoms for a while, but it's rare that it knocks it out entirely. So let's just ask Archangel Raphael to come in with his band of mercy, and we're going to use purple light, because that was on your card, right? Purple and green. So we're going to just start asking the angels to vacuum out all of that anger, all of that stress, all of that tension. This feeling of being on a wheel and not being able to get off. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Oh. Okay. Hi, Hera. Hi, Jupiter. Hi, Shirley. Okay, hi, Sky. I would be grateful for any insight as to me moving home again. Also, any help with back and hip pain that's really getting me down. What is it trying to tell me? Thank you. Okay, so before I even draw the card, I like hearing the words fear of aging. So I would look at experiences between the age of 0 to 7 where you were given a fear of getting older. Okay. Oh. Learning experience. So you can see that this angel is actually holding a dove, right? And it's in a yellow dress. So we're talking about yellow is the color of like divine will and learning how to take back your power and of the solar plexus chakra, which is all about divine empowerment and using divine power as of your own power. And I was listening to the most beautiful song to get up super early this morning, to go down and grab the car needed an oil change, so I had to go and take it down very early in the morning. And when I was walking back, the song that I was listening to, one of the lyrics was, "Not by might and not by power, but by God's Spirit." And I think a lot of people, when they're starting to tap into their own power, especially their boundaries, they forget. They forget the dove of peace. They forget how God's love is the strongest boundary and how staying connected to that divine love is the ultimate protection. And really like that energy of God's will be done, not what I want, not what I think is right, not how I need this person to change, really staying in that energy of God's will, not my will, so that you don't get caught up in that energy or that drama. So anywhere where you are afraid of your own power, afraid of the future, afraid of moving forward, can we release that from your hips and your back, please? Anywhere where you are not being supported and you expected to be supported. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Let's rock and roll. Kate Hedge is saying, hi, I'm feeling weary today. What tips do you have for raising your vibration? So let's start with a nice deep breath, okay? Because whenever you're feeling weary, it's because you're tapped into your own strength and not God's strength. Let's see what the angels have to say to you. Just nice deep breaths for me. Heaven is watching over you. A real theme, and it is Christmas. That's the third card with a dove on it today. So we're talking about the Holy Spirit. It's literally what it says on the card, Holy Spirit. I went to have a look. Okay. And heaven watching over you. This card always comes up to me when there's a sick child in the picture. Can be a cold, can be, a tummy bug, can be something more serious, but it's angel's way of telling you that your children are taken care of, and that any worries that you have about not being a good enough mom, to release it to them. So releasing all the mom guilt. Anywhere where you need to pay attention to your intuition, right? That your child might have an intolerance or an allergy, or they might need a detox. You taking your power back as a mom and watching over your children, no matter if other people think you're fussy or hysterical. There we go. Anywhere where you're giving away your power as a mother, can we release that now? Anywhere where you're allowing your kids to drain your energy, can we plug your little loved ones into Creator? And plug you into Creator too. Okay. Hi, darling. Love you. Can you send me some good vibes for Wednesday evening? We're having a performance with the band. I'm so thrilled, excited, and anxious. Yes, definitely. Okay, we're going to send in the music angels just to help you shine, help you really step into your power, really step into your strength, and to actually enjoy it. One of the things they teach you in hypnosis when you're studying hypnosis and when you're studying NLP is that fear feels the same way in the body as excitement, right? So, can we show you how to, instead of telling yourself, oh, I'm feeling anxious, my heart's beating so fast, I think I might, not be able to do this, tell yourself, oh my God, my heart's beating so fast, everything's rushing through my body, my energy is going so quickly. This feels incredible. This feels so much better than I thought it would feel. This is like a 360 experience. Instead of going, oh, it's overwhelming, oh, it's so big, oh, it's too much. I want to take that same energy and speak different words into it, right? Because your heart beats fast when you're excited. Your energy gets bigger when you're excited. You are consumed, in the sense of you can't think about anything else other than the performance, or when you are excited. Kind of like when you're turned on by somebody and you can't stop thinking about them. It's an aspect of excitement. Intrusive thoughts are not just an aspect of psychosis, anxiety, depression. Intrusive thoughts are an aspect of anxiety, of happiness, excitement, and creativity as well, right? It's a sign that the thought loop has generated enough momentum that it's moving on its own and that it's actually become a proper vortex. Oh, there we go. It's clearing nicely. Okay. Hi, Mattis. Okay, PB. Hi, Sky. Patty here. Hi, Patty. Can you please ask the angels advice regarding my left knee? I feel like it's giving out, unstable when walking and sometimes painful, not allowing me to walk as normal. Thank you. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, stress management. And it's talking to your guardian angel. So you're really getting petitioned by your guardian angel. You can see this whole card is green, right? Greens and purples. So green is around clearing the heart chakra, and the purple is around opening up the crown chakra. Sorry, a bit sleep deprived today. And you can see the animals surrounding this person. So there's this real, and her dress looks like it's made of water as well. If you look at the bottom, the way that it's been drawn, it looks like it's made of liquid. So there's this energy of really needing to take time to nurture your heart, making sure that you're wearing lots of greens and blues, and placing crystals on your heart that are nurturing and are supportive for your emotions, and that you're under so much stress, there's so much to do that you're not actually having time to feel your feelings, and the only time you're feeling like you can be yourself is around nature or animals, right? So it's really like they're showing me that this is a really beautiful woman as well. Left knee, right? Left is feminine, knee is around pride. So it's injured feminine pride, not feeling like yourself, not feeling like you've got, kind of feeling like you've lost your mojo, not knowing how to rock it at the age that you're at, like you're unsure how to own this space energetically and sexually. So can we just bring in Archangel Raphael and do an instant healing on your knee? Okay. Hi, Sky. Can you scan whether my hormones are balanced? I'm getting spots around my head and back which I suspect is from work stress. Any guidance for my business? My love, from the scan, and obviously I'm not allowed to give medical advice, but just scanning your body, it looks like you have a problem with estrogen dominance going on. And it's being caused by like you're right about stress, because cortisol causes to us to lower the production of estrogen, and estrogen is directly connected to your ability to create serotonin, which is the happy hormone. Okay, so oh, you got two cards. I only meant to draw one, but you got two. Practice makes perfect. Okay, so this card always comes up when people are being really hard on themselves. So that's your angels saying you're being super hard on yourself. And you can see all the yellow infused through here, and the harp. So this energy of music for healing, this energy of playing music while you're working, of playing music while you're working out, of just getting into this really powerful vibe. There we go. Archangel Michael's coming in as well. So can we just give you a vacuum of all the work stress too? And just cut the cords to work, because you're taking home, I think you actually might be working from home, but you're definitely taking work home with you. So one of the things that's important to do is to make sure that you choose a place in your home to work from, whether that's like the corner of the kitchen table, or a little office room, but you need a space to work from. Don't ever work from your bed, because that's just it really will just destroy your sleep. Okay. And the hidden one is, oh, we've got heaven is watching over you again, right? So I'm going to assume or intuitively say that this is around being afraid of not being able to provide. I'm not sure who you're afraid of not being able to provide for, but it's this energy of trusting, that if you keep showing up, it will happen. And it's one of the most, I'd say, one of the most psychologically vulnerable things around business is keeping showing up and keeping offering your services, especially at the beginning where you haven't really had enough time to build trust and people aren't showing up yet. And you're like, is this working? Am I doing the right thing? I'm just getting crickets. And 9 times out of 10, it's because you haven't done it for long enough. And most people give up after 3 days, when on average, it takes 7 days for a person to start trusting you. And probably I'd say 14 days to a month for a person to start investing with you. And that's normal. If you meet somebody, it takes a bit of time for you to figure out if you like them, if they're a good fit, if they're actually going to take care of you. So most people stop posting after 3 days. That's not even long enough for a social media algorithm to really pick you up, right? So can we show you that it's safe for you to put yourself out there, safe for you to put yourself out there as an authority? And we're just going to command your hormones be balanced through Creator, so that you can, especially your cortisol. People don't think of stress as being hormonal, but it 100% is. Okay. Oh, Hi, Sky. May I ask on behalf of my friend Natasha about her liver and gallbladder? There's been heaviness and pain. She gave me permission to ask. Thank you. Liver flush, liver flush, liver flush, liver flush, and please get her down to a GP. But I think she's got the beginnings of she's potentially got the beginnings of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So um, they're showing me that things like Kebrapedra and working on anger and resentment as the biggest block to her divine power. She's not forgiving, not even herself. I think it's forgiveness towards herself that's the biggest issue. There we go. See that starting to clear. A lot of us are so focused on forgiving other people that we forget to forgive ourselves. And we even bypass or pretend that we're not angry at ourselves for choosing the wrong partner, for getting into the wrong job, for not investing in ourselves, for not living our divine life purpose, for um, having kids at the wrong time, whatever it is, whatever story it is you're telling yourself that you can't forgive yourself for. If you don't feel good in your body, if you don't feel good in your mind, in your heart, and your soul, it's because there's forgiveness work to do. So we're just going to bring in Archangel Jeremiah. And I want you to just give him just give him everything that you're holding against yourself, including things like being unhealthy or carrying excess weight or not looking the way you want to look, including things like spending money on something or not buying something. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Oh, the postman. Hi, Skylar. How can I increase my income? Okay, let's have a look. Angels, what do you want to say? Peace. Okay, we're going to have a conversation about peace. There's only so many times an angel card can come up before you take it as an angelic bitch slap. So let's have a discussion about inner peace. We think we have many problems, but really we only have one. It's a disconnection from God. Okay. Now, the problem and one of the biggest blocks with females manifesting money is that we tend to go into this place of scarcity and stress when we're trying to manifest money, right? And if we don't, we tend to make it based on our emotional state. I can only manifest money when I'm happy. I can only manifest money when I'm a high vibration. I can only manifest money when I'm, whatever feeling or vibration it is that you've been told that you have to have by whatever spiritual guru that is going out there during that day, right? The truth is that what you need is to be at peace within yourself. And the other emotions can all be visitors, but peace has to be on the throne. Does that make sense? You can get sad, you can get happy, you can get joyful, but deep at the core of your being, love and peace, almost like if peace is like the masculine and love is like the feminine, love and peace have to be one so that your kingdom can be balanced and your kingdom can be whole, because peace brings that stillness, that capacity to accept good, that capacity to see clearly, right? And love gives that capacity to be brave and to do what needs to be done and to show up and to create and to be passionate. But you need peace. So the biggest block to your income is that you are not at peace, right? What does that mean? When I see people in an emotionally chaotic state, one of the biggest things that they do and what's showing up when I'm scanning you is that you're just not showing up as an authority in your space, right? So what do people look at to decide if you're an authority? Number one, what you teach. Number two, how do you look? And I'm not talking about model looks, but I'm talking about, are you clean, right? Is your hair brushed? Do you look like you take decent care of yourself? Because if you look run down and exhausted, then people pick up that you're weak. So that energy of weakness scares them. They're already in a weak place and in a vulnerable place, right? So they need you to be strong so that you can help them get through whatever they're going through. So they're checking you out to see if you are strong enough to help them, if you are capable of being there for them. So if you're showing up in a way, or you're not showing up at all, a lot of people, don't show up. Even in their social media posts, it's rarely a picture of them, right? um, they can't see you in that particular way. So one of the things you'll see every single one of the content creators doing is regularly showing their face or regularly putting on profile selfies or screenshots of themselves, and they're not necessarily like fancily dressed, but they are at least clean and smartly dressed, right? And their hair is at least brushed and tidy. So it's that energy that you have to get into to show up as an authority. Can we put peace as the authority in your world, and can we put you energetically back at a certain level, or standards for yourself on a daily basis? It's not about somebody else. It's about you deciding that this is your standards. There we go. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Hey, so when I'm really inspired, sometimes I feel overactive like a bouncy ball. It's like this energy of divine inspiration is too much to hold in my body, at least consistently. What am I doing wrong? Is it just supposed to flow through, or should I sit somewhere else in my field? It's supposed to flow through and flow through into what you're doing. So as the divine inspiration comes through and I'm writing the slides, or I'm what's it called, writing the to-do list, or I'm creating the container or the energetic space, right? As that energy comes through, I literally allow it to flow into the things that I'm doing. So it doesn't just stay in my body, it flows through me into the field, it flows through me into the space. So all emotions are meant to flow through you, all of them, including peace and love, etc. They're meant to flow through you, and they're meant to move. Emotions are supposed to move. So that's all that's going on. Don't worry. Exactly what you said, if you get too much in your body, you'll start bouncing up and down like a ping pong ball. Hi, Sky. I would love a message from the angels. Okay, let's do this. Sleep. Right, guardian angels. So we're going to ask your guardian angels to help you get better sleep, prioritize sleep, make time to sleep, and not feel guilty about resting. There were 100 things that I've had to do, or I still have on the to-do list, and I planned on having done much before now. And still yesterday when my son fell asleep, my angels were like, go to sleep. So both me and him had a nap, right? So can we show you it's okay for you to sleep? Okay, that's looking good. Oh, great timing. Any help shifting the lurgy as easily as possible will be much appreciated. Thank you, Sky. Commanding an instant healing with Archangel Raphael, and off we go. Hi, Sky. Thank you for everything. Please tell me what is going on in the relationship with my husband. What is the higher purpose of our relationship? I can see a lot of arguments, actually. Okay, so, oh wow. Okay, so I thought that there were 3 cards, but there are 4. So I'm not, I can't, so I'll show you all 4, but I can't go in depth into all 4 of them. But you can see them on here. I'm going to pop them on me. So the first card that came up, believe it or not, was actually move, right? So there's an energy. I don't know if you guys have just moved house or if there's a job move or if there's a shift in frequency, but there's definitely this energy of adapting to a big change or a big shift and not knowing how to deal with it. Right? Not knowing how to deal with this move, not knowing how to relate to you through this movement, and through this shifting in perspective. The next one that came up was vision, right? So they're saying that your marriage lacks a bigger vision. So one of the reasons that I've been in a relationship for almost 11 years now is that our both of us have very strong vision for why we're doing something or what it means and what it matters. It's so much bigger than income, right? Whenever we are discussing whether or not I'm going to do something, whether or not he's going to do something, whether or not we're going to how we're going to make our parenting decisions, all of that comes, the answers come from the vision we've created for the relationship together. And the vision for the relationship is to help us both become the lights that we're supposed to be for the world. So whenever we feel that the relationship isn't doing that, which happens on a regular basis, we may not even have the discipline enough to change it, but we understand, right? That it's bigger than us and that also it's not about what we think it's about, because otherwise it just becomes about me getting what I want and him getting what he wants, and there's no generosity of spirit, there's no bigger picture, and there's also no bigger motivation or purpose to work through the very hard things. Okay. We've got the signs from above card again. So the angels are showing me you've 100% been asking for signs. And this time, the flowers are representing like more romance, more feminine energy. And they're saying not to be afraid of making your spaces in the house more feminine, of buying yourself flowers, of lighting candles, of making the atmosphere in the house more sexy or more warm. So one of the things that I'll do, particularly because I work so late so often, and my husband helps with this a lot because he's like a very deeply spiritual man. He loves crystals, he loves candles and things like that. Is that, we dim the lights. We have a little bubba. So in the rooms that he's in, we have these electric candles, but in the rooms that my husband's in, or the bathrooms on the high shelves, we have like really nice soft smelling essential oil candles. We have this energy of um this energy of things being more feminine, more soft, more loving in the evenings. And one of the things I do after I finish with you guys is I go and spend time with my son, and I always change my clothes to wear more feminine clothes. It's that energy of switching from one space of like productivity and focus and concentration to receptivity and enjoyment and pleasure and um outside of control, right? It's that idea of not being afraid of stepping into your feminine, because what happens when something's going wrong in the marriage is that we try to control the other person, and when control is a masculine energy, the more you push to control someone, the more that they're going to rebel and try not to be controlled. So focus on not just making yourself more attractive, not in a physical way, but in an energetic way. Do the things that make you feel gorgeous. So this is like a real reminder to create the romance in your own life, but also to let yourself have the space. Do your hair in the way that makes you feel sexy. Wear the dress, put on the shoes. Even if it seems ridiculous, even if you don't have anywhere to go, this energy of dressing your feminine and tapping into your feminine so that you can feel like $1 million, or feel beautiful, or feel better. It really works. There's a reason why they make kids wear school uniforms. It puts you in a specific mindset. There's a reason why dressing and doing your hair and doing your makeup, even if you're not going anywhere, it gives you specific vibration. It gives you specific energy, which is I am worth it, right? For me, you're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for you. I am worth it. It's just that energy of creating your own romance, creating your own dates, and letting things be a bit more spontaneous. And when you get ready for an amazing day, it's more likely to happen. If you get up in the morning like, meh, today's going to be a meh day, then amazing things are highly unlikely to happen. But if you dress for the days you want to have, basically, dress for the career you want to have, dress for the relationship you want to have, right? And the number of times I'll make a little bit more of an effort, whether it's by, putting on more sparkly earrings, or making sure my hair gets done, or making sure I change my clothes, or that I put on a set of heels instead of putting on a set of flats. Tiny little bits of sexuality injected here and there, and femininity injected here and there. I try and wear at least one sexy or sparkly or thing, something that makes me feel feminine or girly every single day, right? So in that energy, you'll find that little changes start to happen, little shifts start to happen. And ironically, men tend to notice the little things. It's quite interesting. My husband will notice the earrings, or he'll notice the hair, or he'll notice the shoes a lot more than he'll notice the big things. Like, he won't notice when I get a haircut, but he will notice when I do my hair. If that makes sense, right? And we have another dove. I think God's going to give us 12 of these because Christmas is coming. So they're saying animals. So I'm not sure if you have animals inside your home, or if you're being recommended to get some kind of a pet, but these are definitely pet type creatures, right? And it's this energy of cultivating peace, making peace, a peaceful home, a priority, and trying to bring peace into the environment. So for those of you that have not invited the vibration of peace into your home, into your holidays, into your family, into your body, can we invite it in now, please? And let your life be blessed with peace. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Hi, beautiful Skylar. What do the angels and God recommend for me to do courageously? Resume reading for me about the future without perceiving a type of pain in the soul when they have not very positive events. Before the pandemic, I did it every day. Then I started to feel a lot of suffering, and I stopped doing them alone for myself. I do them for others. Okay, so I'm going to draw a card, but one of the things that actually, one thing at a time, I'm going to give you the message angels gave me to give you, and then I'll draw a card if it feels right. Sorry, putting my spiritual ego in its place there for a minute. It's getting too attached to cards. So what I saw immediately when I tuned into you was that you're tuning into the pain, and that's all that happened because of the pandemic, is that you started tuning into pain instead of tuning into the whole future. Okay. There are always sad, horrific things going on in the world. There's always wars, rape, genocide, disease, plagues. COVID, it wasn't even that big a deal compared to the size of plagues that they've had in other countries on a regular and consistent basis. Okay. Just last year, there was smallpox and malaria outbreaks that wiped out quite a few areas. It's just because it's not big news. So what happened with COVID is it took over the world's media, and that's when it created a different kind of zeitgeist in the collective consciousness, right? But for future readings, it's an illusion that there's any more suffering now than there was before. There's always been a lot of suffering. You just weren't tuned into it. You weren't aware of it. Being aware of suffering is an act of compassion, right? But it's not supposed to block you from doing an accurate future reading. So can we release the belief that the future is full of suffering? And can we download you with how to see the truth? Okay, that's good. Okay. Hi, Sky. I realized recently that I'm living a second best life and it's showing up everywhere. I know that it comes from losing my parents as a child, hence, there is an unconscious feeling of sadness and missing out. Would like to release this, please. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so you think you lost your parents, but the relationship that you lost is the relationship with yourself. I'm going to say that again. So you think you're sad because you lost your parents, but really the relationship that you have lost is the relationship with yourself. So can we ask Creator and the angels to heal your relationship with yourself, please? And release any grief that you have still stuck around you never having the parents that you want to have, around you never having the experience that you would like to have, around you believing that you will have a second-rate life because they are not there. And changing it to, I get to have a first-rate life without guilt. And that's what they would want. There we go. Okay. Sing Song is saying, hi, Sky. I'm embarrassed to ask, but would love clarity. Is homosexuality something natural or not? Media says something, I feel something, religion says something else. Oh God, talk about can of worms. Okay, so when I scan people's bodies, etc., I do 100% see gay and lesbian genes, and I think it's been around for a very, very long time. Can it be caused by trauma? Yes, of course it can. Any kind of sexual behavior can be caused by trauma, including, heterosexual behavior. So I think what's happening is people are touching, if you imagine like homosexuality is an elephant and people are touching different parts of it, like the ears and the nose and the trunk, and they think they're touching a different animal, but they're just touching the same one. I think just like normal sexuality, can normal sexuality be geared by trauma? Yes. Can normal sexuality be distorted? Yes. Is normal sexuality normal? Yes. So it's not black and white or they're right. It's that they're talking about different aspects of an issue that they think are like completely separate issues. Like they think that the ear and the tail are not part of the same elephant, right? So I think people are getting um into arguments about things that they're because of a really profound social misunderstanding. um but do I think it's natural? It's 100% a gene. That's all I can say. Whether or not it expresses, I think, is up to the individual, and their life experience is just like every single other gene. Okay, but yeah, I would say homosexuality, whether it's natural or based on trauma, is a personal choice, and there isn't anything wrong with it. The same way that when we do world relations, we do, you know, unconscious bias towards other nations. It's important to do unconscious bias towards sexuality, right? Because you won't be able to help or serve people unless you are able to do it without judgment. And that's one of the most important things on the planet, right? So anywhere where you're afraid and we think it's our job to decide what's right and wrong, No matter what, if somebody throws the Bible at you, you just throw the part of the Bible in that says God is the only judge. There is no other person, okay? And God fights the battles. It's not for you to decide what's right and wrong on this earth. It's for you to do your best to love as deeply as you can. There we go. I'm also going to say this, and I think it's a very important thing to say, right? That the media is being used systemically to separate us with football teams, separate us with homosexuality, separate us with gender, separate us with money, separate us with time, separate us with who we follow on social, separate us with calling out or cancel culture, separating us with parents versus people who are not parents, separating us with religious stuff. So anytime somebody tries to, what Brené Brown calls, use dehumanizing language against another person, another faith, another sexuality, another religion, just take nice deep breaths and remember that they've been scared, right? And it's our job to spread love on the planet. And also remember that it's very easy for somebody that doesn't like you. So, for example, just by me answering that question, somebody can record that on their phone, cut out most of what I said, and make it look like I said some pretty horrible things, right? So, it's being aware just because you saw something on the media, especially nowadays, that they can produce holographic images and something of people, does not make it true. And this is so important, especially now in the coaching community where there are so many men and women who are constantly calling each other out or making videos telling them, posting themselves as victims, or trying to destroy other people's reputations, or saying that people shouldn't teach because of something that happened in their personal lives, or anything that accuses somebody of doing something, especially without any evidence. Take deep breaths, because what's hard to be with is how much we don't know and how out of control the media has gotten with anything and anyone. Right? What I will say is this: it is normal to attack women based on hearing rumors of them being all about the money, them being bitches and not being likable, them being a copyright infringement that recently happened with Taylor Swift, and it's going mad in the coaching industry. So they're not honest, and then them being whores or them being prostitutes. And with men, it's they're frauds, they're murderers, they are weak, or they're what's it called, sexual abusers. And those are the stories that the media tells to polarize, to divide, to destroy our trust or our faith in a person. And this is why the crime of liable was created, is because it's cheap to say, and it can cost people, like what happened, with things like the Johnny Depp, or it can cost people their entire careers. It can cost people, particularly if they work in the health industry, etc. You know, eh, clients and all sorts. And it happens to some of the most lovely people that you will meet, especially people like Anthony Robbins, or Brené Brown, or there's or Marianne Williamson. There are genuinely people that just do this for fun. So it's really hard to be with how vulnerable we are with this media machine, and how much we just don't know, and how much people can lie to us. Humans hate it. We hate it when we can be lied to, because it makes us feel so unsafe, and the unconscious mind is wired to keep us safe. So, can we release our fear of being with the vulnerability of not knowing before we judge, before we project, before we let ourselves be divided, before we choose a side? And yes, there is a price to not choosing a side, but you know what? There's a price to being on the wrong side of history. So be very careful. There we go. Okay. Okay, can you please do a quick scan for me? Yes. Oh, vision. It's 2023 is coming up. It's time to get really, really clear on your vision. What is it that you want? What is your deepest heart's desire? And asking God for his vision for your life. What is God's plan for you? Where would he have you go? What would he have you do? It's getting into this energy of, see how she's literally wearing a head covering, and the clothes that she's wearing is green. The head covering symbolizes isolating your gifts, your wisdom, your knowledge, particularly because it's around the crown chakra and the third eye, from the world. And orange, right, is the sacral chakra color, which symbolizes giving birth to new ideas. And the fact that it's wrapped around the crown and the center for vision says that it's like this energy of creating vision and then putting it into the divine womb so that it can manifest, so that it can come forth, and getting really, really clear with your guardian angels, with your higher power, about what it is that you want and not what you're afraid of, or not what it is that you think is inevitable, so that you can shift in quantum realities. Okay. Okay. Hi, Skylar. Starting rescue for animals. What are the angels saying, please? Heaven is watching over you. So like, I'm getting this energy of like a whoosh. And also to remember that you're like an animal mom, kind of like when people say, oh, you're a dog mom, or you're like, to really remember that you're taking the place of maybe hundreds of mothers, like animal mothers that have been separated from their babies, and that you are in that role. So allowing, really bringing in the energy of Mother Mary, really not being afraid of mentoring the animals and undoing the damage that's been done, from them being separated from their tribe or from their community, but full steam ahead, full steam ahead with your animal rescue. And they're saying, you need, gosh honey, you need to learn how to sell, because if you're going to really provide for all these animals, then you need to be able to talk about what you do and talk about it every day, so that people can start helping you. Whoop. Vision. You need to be able to communicate your vision with people in a clear way. More than just, I rescue animals. You need to be able to communicate what that means financially, mentally, emotionally, for you and for them, and what they really need to have successful rehabilitation, and return to their healthy selves. So I'm going to send an instant healing to all the animals that you rescue for now and all times, for this center and all centers. Okay. Hi, Sky. I've been thinking about separating from my partner of 10 years. It's a big decision. The thoughts are depressing. Any insights and healing? Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to bring in the romance angels. I'm just going to start by sending so much unconditional love to the situation. Okay. Oh, optimism. Okay, and this one, you can see all of the purple energy around her, and she's by herself. So they're saying, take time out and do like an energetic vacuum. Bring in like lots and lots of, I'm actually going to ask the angels to bring in the purple ray of creation for you, and the diamond violet flame, so we can clear some of this negativity. And it's saying, take time out for yourself. Now, you'll notice that she is in nature, but it's kind of a grand setting. It's like a spa type setting. You can see all the marble. So beautiful historical sites, going to powerful places, giving yourself space, like really giving yourself space and letting the energy clear, and letting your future be bright, whether it's with him or without him. So can we release the belief that if you stay, your future will be dark, and if you leave, your future will be dark? Can we show you that If you stay, your future will be bright. And if you leave, your future will be bright. Remember, we talked about speaking about God's power and God's greatness over the relationship instead of speaking defeat. And the same thing about over divorce. If you're going to get divorced, you better speak great things coming out of it, right? Because otherwise, what's the point? If you don't believe your life is going to get better, then why get divorced? There we go. And they're also saying that there's a real anger at yourself, like you're saying, oh, I married the wrong person. And the angels are saying this is not the correct way of looking at it. They're really saying that you need to see it as the relationship has now served its purpose. You married the right person. You had a loving relationship, but it's completed, right? There's no love between you now, and that means it served its purpose. But that doesn't mean you married the wrong person. Right? Very few people nowadays stay in their relationship for their whole life. And that's okay. People used to only live to be like 30 years old. People are living to be 70, 80 now. The amount of growth and change occurring is huge, right? And just being married is not a sign of success if you're just going through the motions and there's no love in the relationship. So can we release you from this belief that if a marriage ends, it's failed, and instead show you that as long as there's love, it's completed, right? And it's just changing from romantic love into something else. It's not wrong. It's not failure. It's just growth. Okay. I'm going to stop here and do our closing prayer because my team is pinging me. The phone goes bzz, bzz. This is the last week for signing on to Medical Intuitive, guys. We are well into the 50s now. So let me know if you need to speak to me or a member of the team about joining. We are closing cart on Wednesday. Okay, we are closing cart, and then I'm going to start getting everybody organized for Christmas and New Year. And we're also doing our prize draw. So if you don't know, if you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you. We are running a competition where if you share one of our medical intuitive videos with a description of why you want to be on the course, and this is actually quite important, right? Don't just say, I really want to be on it. I need to know why you want to be a medical intuitive. This is part of how we tune in and how that vibration goes in. You could win a free space, a full scholarship for Medical Intuitive. Okay, a full scholarship for Medical Intuitive, and we will be announcing the winners on Wednesday. Okay, let me do our closing prayer, and we will stick the copy for the competition in the chat box. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. May the Christmas angels be with you. May peace be with you and your family. And may you be protected, as well as all of your loved ones as you go about your day.